Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a short and clear summary of the book Build Don't Talk by Rajshamani. There are 39 chapters in this book. Let's go with the chapter 1. Our education system sucks. Education's impact on creativity. Imagination and emotions are heavily stifled by our current education system. Traditional methods emphasize rote memorization instead of fostering critical thinking and creativity. Types of learners. There are three primary learners: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. Every individual has a unique method of learning best, which should be recognized and nurtured by educational institutions. Personalized learning. Rather than a one size fits all approach, the education system should facilitate personal exploration into each individual learns. This allows students to thrive by discovering their best learning methods early on. The problem with content. Students learn to memorize content without understanding its applications. This leads to a generation of individuals who can retrieve information but lacks the ability to create or think critically or engage emotionally with the material. Curiosity over memorization. Current education system discourages curiosity, leading to a lack of questioning and engagement from students. High achievers often pursue their passions outside of formal education, thriving in areas not tied to traditional schooling. Teaching real life skills. An ideal educational model should incorporate real world skills such as negotiation, communication, and selling. These skills are essential to students to thrive in the constantly evolving marketplace. Learning through experience. Classroom exhibitions do not reflect real life experiences. Real learning occurs through trial and constant adaptation rather than one time projects. Small, consistent efforts can accumulate to significant outcomes. Understanding the world. Children should be prepared for the brutal realities of the world, equipping them to work harder and strive for improvements. Misconceptions about the world creates unpreparedness for life's challenges. The school of the future. An ideal school would embrace experiential learning in diverse environments, encouraging students to learn through doing rather than through textbooks. The goal is to cultivate resilience, adaptability, and a deeper understanding of the world. Chapter 2. You suck, admit it. Until we acknowledge our shortcomings, we cannot improve. The crucial first step is to face the reality. We all have areas where we lack skill. The harsh truth is that admitting we suck is often met with resistance, even from those who encourage us to confront our failures. The importance of acknowledgement. Acknowledging our weaknesses is vital before we can work on them. Many people avoid trying new things for fear of failures, while others cling to activities they excel at out of a false sense of superiority. Both attitudes hinder growth. If we are overly critical of ourselves, we create a barrier to progress. Personal example of struggle. Reflecting on personal experiences, the author recalls moments of failure such as forgetting lines during public speaking. These instances are a reminder of the importance of recognizing our weakness and striving to improve. The world is filled with opportunities that we can only seize if we are aware of both our strengths and weaknesses. Strategies for improvement. The process involves first recognizing our shortcomings through practice. For example, the author recognizes difficulties in writing but has addressed it by hiring a ghostwriter to convey his thoughts effectively. It's essential to take actionable steps after acknowledgement, whether that means improving through practice or seeking help if one is unable to progress. Knowing when to quit. Understanding when to quit is equally important. If something isn't working out, it's better to let go and seek new opportunities. The key takeaway is to admit our limitations, assess the importance of overcoming them, and either work to improve or find someone better suited to the task. Chapter 3. Jack of all trades, master of none. Life is compared to a buffet, encouraging one to explore various options rather than waiting for a favorite dish to be served. The author reflects on the pressure of growing up in a family of higher achievers, feeling the constant need to match their academic success, struggling with self-esteem due to poor grades. The author shifted focus from academics to sports, only to discover a lack of talent and passion in that area as well. Despite social challenges and a desire to fit in, the author sought outlets through music, initially attempted to rap and then learning to play the guitar. Each year brought new aspirations from DJing to becoming a fashion trader, yet each endeavor ended in realization of limitations. Ultimately, after a series of failures and discoveries, the author decided to step back from the hustle and embrace uncertainty, re-entering the importance of trying out various interests to find personal strength. Chapter 4, Like for Raj, Comment for Dubai. The journey of social validation and self realization. Social validation in high school. In high school, particularly during the 11th and 12th grades, the desire for social acceptance and validation intensifies. Raj reflects on his yearning of appear cool and to be part of elite social circle. To boost his social standing, he fabricates a story about traveling to Dubai, impressing his classmates with exaggerated tales. The downfall of fame. Initially, Raj's stories elevate his status among peers, who are keen to befriend him and even his relatives. However, the situation quickly turns sour when his cousins reveals the truth, leading to ridicule. Raj becomes the subject of school memes, earning the nickname Dubai, which leaves is embraced and isolated, and has even younger students and teachers join in the mockery. The emotional toll. Raj experiences intense humiliations, feeling trapped and despondent. The ridicule he faces affects his mental health, leading him to consider taking drastic measures. One particularly troubling day, he isolates himself in his room, overwhelmed by his feelings of worthlessness. A life changing moment. In a pivotal moment, Raj's mother calls him as his father suffers a severe health crisis. Rushing to the hospital, Raj hears his father's reassuring words, which crystallize his realization that he must take charge of his life and responsibilities. Thankfully, his father recovers, prompting Raj to reflect on his life's direction. Chapter 5, Useless Kid with Big Dreams. In this chapter, the author reflects on the importance of questioning societal norms and pursuing one's dream even if they seem unconventional. The narrative shares a personal journey of overcoming feelings of inferiority and the desire for wealth. Main points includes questioning society. The author emphasizes that just because others accept societal choices doesn't mean one should conform without inquiry. Personal transformation. Feeling inferior and motivated by the pursuit of riches, the author seeks to change their circumstances. The search for knowledge. The quest for wealth leads to an exploration of resources, predominantly books. The discovery of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill becomes a pivotal moment. Influence of Andrew Carnegie. Intrigued by the book's connection by Andrew Carnegie, the author shifts focus to learning about him in hopes of finding a pathways to riches. Chapter 6, How to Become Rich. Key principles for wealth creation. First, getting rich by being right once. You can fail multiple times, but achieving success just once can lead to substantial wealth. 3 steps to wealth according to Andrew Carnegie. Start a business. Having a business is critical. A regular job may not provide the same financial returns. There is a flexibility in paths to wealth. You can achieve it through various avenues that suit you. Network extensively. Meeting new people broadens your perspective and leads to more opportunities. Establishing a habit of interacting with one person daily is highly beneficial for personal and professional growth. Focus on fast moving consumer goods industry. Identify a niche in the fast moving consumer goods sector can be a successful venture. Practical experience. Observing consumer behavior and understanding market dynamics are essential in this field. Personal experience and business development. The author struggled with insecurities linked to starting a business but decided to observe existing market products. Through market research in local Kirana stores, he recognized the potential in developing a liquid dishwashing gel. The author experimented independently, guided by his father, and through trial and error, found a formula that significantly undercut existing products' price while maintaining the quality. Next, chapter 7, Begging, the ultimate student's power. When forced with limited resources like experience, connections, or money, the greatest asset one possesses is the ability to ask for help. The author shares his journey of requesting financial support from his father, which provided the capital needed to launch his product aimed at housewives. To expand the product's appeal to children, he creatively modified the dishwashing gel by infusing it with fruity scents. However, with no chemical background and a limited budget, he faced the challenges of ensuring the product was safe. Using student power, the author highlights the unique power of being a student, the art of begging. They frequently request assistance in various situations, and he utilized this to seek guidance from professionals on platforms like LinkedIn. After multiple attempts, an experienced consultant agreed to help in exchange for a percentage of future profit. This collaboration allowed the author to refine his product formula, which he later produced in a modest quantity. By distributing free samples at his college, he gained traction and received reorders, leading to successful sales and the birth of his entrepreneurial identity as the dishwash king of his college. Chapter 8. Be ready to look stupid. Fear of looking stupid can hinder personal growth and achievements. Personal experience. Author shares a personal experience that led to a fear of public speaking. Avoiding criticisms and seeking validation from others is common but harmful. The impact of external validation. External validation often leads to the feelings of insecurity. Fear of being judged prevents people from being their authentic selves. Coming fears. The author emphasizes the importance of self acceptance and self validation, encouragement to embrace risk, and the possibility of looking foolish in pursuit of greatness. Historical examples. Inventors and pioneers took risks without worrying about public opinion. Their bravery led to life changing innovations. Chapter 9. Don't focus on your goals. Focusing exclusively on your goals can hinder your ability to achieve them. Instead, prioritize your daily habits as they will ultimately determine your success. The dangers of goal obsession. Common questions about future plans often create pressure to define clear goals. Fixating on these goals can lead to frustration and detract from your overall well being. Personal experience. The author reflects on their own experience with driving, emphasizing that achieving a skill involves more than just knowing the end goal. It requires practice and a structured approach. Shift to habit focus. For many years, the author fixated on achieving a specific academic score without understanding the underlying process necessary for success. They emphasized that establishing positive habits is crucial to overcoming barriers to success. The importance of a process. Goals are less significant than the processes that lead to achieving them. Building a consistent regime, like a fitness program, emphasizes the need for daily commitment rather than a mere wish to reach a goal. Control your habits, not your goals. Habits are manageable. By focusing on small actionable steps, one can avoid the paralysis that comes from overthinking. It's essential to set goals, but even more critical to concentrate on the daily actions required to reach those goals. The key takeaway is to shift the mindset from goal fixation to habit formation. Focus on the daily routines and practices that lead to success, as this is where true achievement lies. Chapter 10. Just stop overthinking. Overthinking can hinder your ability to live fully and make decisions. While thinking is important, overthinking leads to worrying without productive outcomes. It complicates life unnecessarily and often results in regret over missed opportunities. The dangers of overthinking. Reflecting on decisions is valuable, yet dwelling excessively can damage one's choices and mental health. Personal anecdotes illustrate how overthinking can result in poor subject choices in school, leading to regrets. The pressure to choose wisely can lead to paralysis and missed experiences. A different perspective on decisions. Societal expectations often enforce the belief that early decisions determine future success. However, this mindset is false. Life is full of unpredictability. The narrative of athletes facing disappointment serves as a reminder that failure is part of life and excessive analysis can lead to problems like depression. Embracing actions over analysis. Instead of fixating on potential negative outcomes, it's essential to act and move forward. Much like the carefree character Joy from Friends, worrying often feels futile and burdensome. Unlocking potential. Overthinking can create a mental prison that stifles success by silencing incessant thoughts and Embracing actions. Individuals can tear down barriers. Life is finite, so seizing opportunities is critical. Next, chapter 11. Stop innovating, start copying. In this chapter, Rashomani challenges the conventional belief in innovation as the hallmark of the leader, advocating instead for a value of copying and drawing inspiration from existing concepts. He emphasizes that nothing is truly original. Every idea from startup to fashion is built upon that what has come before. Embrace inspiration, not plagiarism. Ramani encourages readers to find inspiration in others' innovations rather than attempting to be entirely original. He argues that the essence of learning and progress come from mimicking and adapting existing ideas. This approach is not about plagiarism but about adding one unique touch to an existing foundation. Example of inspired success. The chapter cites successful companies like Ola and Flipkart, which were inspired by Uber and Amazon, respectively. It also refers artists and writers, highlighting that skills acquisition often comes from studying and emulating others. Shamani points out that even renowned figures like Shakespeare drew from earlier works to create classics. The cycle of creation. Shamani posits that the cycle of inspiration and adaptation has always created and existed. He encourages readers to actively seek out what resonates with them, copy it, and then refine it into something personal. He assures that imitation is a valid starting point for creativity and self discovery. Chapter 12. The versus game. Chapter emphasizes the importance of transitioning from being a consumer of knowledge to becoming a producer. Rajshamani reflects on his own experiences and prevalent issue of knowledge hoarding in today's society, advocating for actionable executions rather than merely accumulating information. Knowledge overload. Many individuals gather vast amounts of knowledge without applying it, leading to stagnation and lack of growth. Execution matters. Real learning occurs through execution, which allows for practical application of knowledge and continual improvement. Consumer versus producer. Recognizing whether you are primarily consuming content or creating it can drastically change your mindset and drive towards achievement. Path to richness. To attain wealth, one must produce what they consume most, particularly by sharing what they have learned through content creation. Start small. Rather than quitting your job to pursue content creation, consider it as a side hustle first. This helps maintain financial security while exploring your passion. Gradual transition. Assess your success in content creation over time before making significant career changes. Chapter 13. How to be successful. Success can be achieved by learning how to leverage advantages over others. The evolution of leverage. Success in wealth creation is often linked to various forms of leverage, whether that be financial wealth, social connection, or specific skills. Historical shifts have been leveraged evolve from wealth in the industrial age to human resources and intellectual property in more recent decades. Current era, specific knowledge and media. Today's landscape revolves around specific knowledge and media distribution. Leverage can now come from one's unique knowledge or talent, particularly in media, such as video production or public speaking. Building skills for wealth creation. To succeed, focus on mastering one area better than 99% of others. This could be anything from communication to social media analysis. Continuous learning, even in small increments, can elevate one's skill significantly. Identifying your unique skill. Identify what you enjoy and excel at by evaluating how you spend your time. Use the plus or minus method to track what you enjoy versus what you don't. Discovering core interests that might be monetized. Monetizing skills. Transform your passions or unique ability into a business, whether through teaching, consulting, or creating products. By focusing on what comes naturally and is enjoyable, success becomes more attainable. Next, chapter 14. How to come up with a business idea. Every field offers opportunities for entrepreneurship. The key is identifying a good business idea. If you are unsure where to start, here are 3 simple steps to generate your first business idea. Step 1. Choose your industry. Select an industry you are passionate about. Every sector has potential for success. Identify what you spend your time on, whether it's fashion, technology, or automobiles. Focus on one industry that excites you, as this passion will drive your efforts. Step 2. Find out where your strength lies. Assess your skills, writing, speaking, coding, etc. Determine your strongest ability. Gather feedbacks from the friends and family to identify your strength. Experiment with different skills until you find the one you excel at. Step 3. Find a problem where your strength can be used best. Analyze the chosen industry for existing problems that align with your strengths. Use your unique abilities to develop solutions for these problems. Bonus step 1. Choose your product. Consider two paths: innovate a new idea or improve an existing product. You may want to gain industry experience first to better understand existing problems. Bonus step 2. Observe. Conduct market research by spending time with your target audience. Observe sales patterns and consumer behavior to uncover emerging industry trends. Conclusion: crafting a business idea is also following these steps and observing carefully. Once you have a product, focus on launching it, then iterate based on customer feedback. Understand your target audience as selling becomes easier once you identify who needs your product. Chapter 15. How to price your product. Understanding price sensitivity in India. India is a price sensitive market. Entrepreneurs must ensure that they set the right price, as poor pricing can lead to business failure. Deciding on the price. Entrepreneurs often grapple with how to price their products or services, whether they are new to business, freelancing, or starting a new job. For instance, a writer can adjust their price based on the demand and interest from the prospective clients. Increasing your prices. Pricing should be determined based on a number of interested clients. If demand increases, so can prices. It is essential to calculate pricing based on your time and value you offer, adjusting rates incrementally as needed. Establishing an hourly rate. Professionals should have an hourly rate. This rate must be communicated clearly to clients, along with any additional charges for extra hours worked. The hourly rate should ideally exceed what one would earn in a regular job to ensure worthwhile compensation. Building your reputations. If starting with zero income, consider offering services for free initially to build a name for yourself. The quicker you establish your reputations, the sooner you can start charging and increasing your fees. Social media strategy. Use social media to showcase your work and entice clients. Discuss your worth compared to others in your field, inviting prospective clients to assess your value. Handling clients' negotiations. When discussing prices with clients, allow them to determine what they believe your work is worth. If a potential client does not value your time adequately, be prepared to walk away until they can meet your pricing expectations. Next, chapter 16. The number one rule of selling. Selling is most effective when the focus shifts from personal gain to what the seller is providing to the buyer. Types of information availability. Information disparity. The salesperson has more knowledge than the buyer. Historical context. Buyers, like our parents, were often less informed than car salespeople, making them easier to persuade. Information parity. Era where both buyers and sellers have equal access to product information. Buyers are informed and can research options, making it difficult for seller to deceive them. Information overload. Current era where buyers often know more than sellers due to abundant information online. Buyers' ability to research extensively means that trust becomes essential for sales, as they are less likely to be fooled. The importance of trust. In the era of information overload, trust is critical in sales. Buyers often choose to purchase from trusted brands or individuals, highlighting the importance of personal branding. Building trust. Trust can be built or developed through generating awareness, keeping promises, over delivering consistently, caring about consumers and their needs is fundamental to establishing trust. Chapter 17. How to sell a product. The P plus E plus U method. To sell a product effectively, one must prepare it, package it with emotion, and create a sense of urgency. This approach is encapsulated in the P plus E plus U method: preparation, emotion, urgency. Understanding buyer motivation, people purchase product based on necessity, often due to two primary emotions: fear, or aspirations. Understanding these motivators is crucial for effective selling. Preparation. Sellers should possess specific knowledge or products that the buyer needs. For instance, the author identifies his expertise in wealth creation and personal branding, which informs the basis of his offering. Driving emotions. When selling, it's important to identify whether the buyer's emotional driver is fear of missing out or aspiration for a better life. Crafting a narrative around these emotions can draw customers in. This can be through aspirational messaging or urgency driven tactics that highlight the risk of inaction. Handling objections. Addressing potential objections is vital in the selling process. This involves recognizing procrastination and creating a sense of urgency while fostering understanding of the necessity of purchasing now rather than later. Examples of urgency and objection handlings. In conversation, effective sellers counter objections by reinforcing the importance of immediate action. For instance, they might encourage decision making by emphasizing time constraints and the value of their offerings. Chapter 18, how to negotiate. Negotiation revolves around the concept of managing power shifts. To successfully negotiate, one must make the other party feel as though they are winning, which often involves making them feel more powerful and valued. Key strategies for successful negotiation. Stroke the other person's ego. Make the other individual feel smarter and more capable. Initial conversation frame. Start discussing the deal, then pivot to questions, then elevate the other person's perspective regarding their own worth and the value they see in your offer. Avoid stating your price first. Let the other party propose a price to retain the power dynamic in your favor. Offer additional benefits. Instead of lowering your price, enhance the deal by adding more value through additional benefits or services. Give them the power. Allow the other party to feel like they are in control of the decision making processes, but do not indicate any willingness to negotiate your fee. Chapter 19, the three kinds of observers. In life, the ability to observe is a superpower that can significantly enhance your chance of success. Understanding human behavior is essential for personal and professional advancement. This chapter emphasizes the importance of keen observation in understanding why people act and make decisions the way they do. Types of observers. First, conditioned achievers. Often influenced by external expectations such as parental pressure, these individuals have a predefined path. They excel academically and professionally but struggle with mental peace and often feel exhausted due to constant pressure to meet others' standards. Their view of success is limited to the realities dictated by those around them. Emotionally driven achievers. These individuals are propelled by feelings of inferiority or rage, driving them to prove themselves. They may become successful by trying to outshine others or by succeeding against odds created by emotional triggers. However, despite these achievements, they often feel a sense of emptiness as they chase validation or acceptance, leading to constant questions like what now? Rational optimists. This category includes individuals who are naturally curious and often driven by a strong belief in their abilities. They explore their interests without the constraints of external pressures and are capable of adapting to changing circumstances. They tend to achieve sustainable success through focused efforts and rational thinking rather than emotional driven reactions. Chapter 20, how I decide my content. Creating relatable content involves two key elements: who you are and the data that informs your approach. The author emphasizes that one doesn't need to be exceptionally intelligent but rather average to create successful content. Personal connection. The author aims to produce content that would have significantly improved their own life if they had encountered it earlier. The goal is for the audience to become even slightly better after engaging with the content. Genuine honesty. Authenticity is crucial. The author refuses to concoct answering when forced with uncertainty and prioritized creating content from a place of honesty. Role of data. When growth seems stagnant, data becomes essential for making rational decisions based on audience engagement and reactions. Understanding market perceptions versus self perceptions can bridge gaps in the content effectiveness. Community awareness. Acknowledging that many others face similar challenges shifts the focus from individual struggle to collective improvement. This perspective fosters leadership and accountability within a community or organization. Relatability over intelligence. The author noticed that successful content resonates because it is relatable to the average person rather than requiring high intelligence. The narrative shared is grounded in an average experience that connects with a wide audience. Chapter 21st, How to Grow on Social Media. Building relationships over numbers. Focusing on creating meaningful relationships and building a people rather than merely increasing followers count. Identifying your skill set. Recognize your strength. Success hinges on excelling in one of the areas. Improving core skills. Enhance your core competency based on your preference for building or selling. Concentrate on developing your delivery and selling skills if you prefer speaking over writing. Striving for excellence. Aim to be better than others in your field, starting from 1% to eventually surpassing 99%. Exceptional skills lead to increased monetary success. Distribution is key. Distribute your content across various platforms consistently. Adapt a new features introduced by platforms to gain visibility. Understanding happiness and freedom. Happiness for consumers comes from freedom, financial freedom, and emotional freedom. Democratizations of content creation. Content creation allows audience to exercise choice, fostering demand for creators who resonate with them, creating a sense of urgency. Pursued potential customers instill a sense of urgency using in aspirations and fear, emotions that drive people to take immediate actions. Chapter 22, The FAQs of Starting a YouTube Channel. Shift your focus from seeking views to providing value to win in YouTube. Find your passion, choose a niche you all love and feel comfortable with. Enjoyability is crucial for both you and your audience. Take action, start your channel without overthinking. The first step is essential. Content creation. Video length. Create videos that suit your topic and style. Regardless of current trends, focus on adding value to your audience time. Quality over quantity. Engaging, informative content is preferable to excessive short videos. Delivery and presentation. Communicate effectively, build strong communication skills, make your content entertaining and engaging to captivate your audience. Be authentic, use your natural speaking style and stay true to yourself. Analyze how you interact with your friends to maintain your authenticity on camera. Avoid annoyance and embrace uniqueness. Learn what to exclude. Eliminate annoying elements from your videos to improve your retention. Consistency is key. Video frequency. Post consistently, whether it's once a week or several times a week. Commit to what you can realistically maintain over time. Language consideration. Choose your language. Use a language that allows you to be your best self. Regional content is growing in demand, so consider catering to that audience. Chapter 23, How to Get Over Failure. People fear embracement more than failure. To truly overcome failure, the answer is simple. Get back to work. If you want to succeed in life, you must take action. Remaining passive ensures that nothing changes. The only way to change your situation is through decision action. Failures often stem from one's lack of preparation and skills. Common excuses for failure includes not having enough money, effort, or talent. However, the real question is to consider is why did you fail? Identify the reasons, improve upon them, and move forward. External factors may impact your journey but shouldn't be seen as excuses for failure. If your success hinges on uncontrollable elements, you need to re-evaluate your stability and preparation. The potential for failure often lies within, and overcoming it requires personal accountability. Chapter 24, The Best Advice I Can Give You. Stop asking people for advice. People often seek advice from others, but this practice can be unproductive. When individuals inquire about the best advice or how to succeed like someone else, it typically leads to vague responses that may not offer any new insights. Why avoid seeking advice? The author argues that there is a little a person can tell you that you don't already know. Advice is often redundant and unoriginal. Instead of asking for general advice, it's more beneficial to ask specific problem solving questions. Asking better questions. To receive valuable guidance, one should articulate specific challenges they are facing. For instance, asking about issues with content engagement on social media, including detail about efforts and obstacles, allowing for contextually relevant answers. Chapter 25, How to Talk to Anyone. The Importance of Communication. Effective communication is crucial for building and maintaining personal and professional relationships, regardless of whether you enjoy talking or find it intimidating. Mastering conversation skills can open doors to numerous opportunities. Taking initiative. Waiting for others to approach you is a losing strategy. Instead, take the initiative to start conversation, which allows you to ask questions and gain the information you desire. Scoping the room. When entering a space with many people, observe the dynamics. Identify who looks open to conversation and who seems engaged in their phones or with others. Look for those who, like you, appear to be friendly and searching for connections. Intent and comfort. Before approaching someone, be clear on your intent. Are you interested in their product, looking to network, or simply wanting to get to know them? Ensure both you and the other person feel comfortable during the interaction. Before starting a conversation, begin with close ended questions to make the other person feel comfortable, such as what do you do or which company do you work for. Once they feel at ease, transition into open ended questions for deeper engagement. Engaging in dialogue, observe the person's response and interest. Explore topic based on what they share to keep the conversations flowing. Pay attention to your body language as it reflects your interest. Creating positive interaction. To stand out, initiate discussions with a positive statement about the situation to break the ice. Use humor or share a light of experience to connect with the other person. The 4Ws approach. Employ the 4Ws framework: where, what, world around us, weather, and with, to generate positive statements relevant to the current circumstances. Complimenting someone sincerely can foster goodwill. Ensure your compliments are specific, avoid overly personal remarks, and follow them with relevant questions to keep the conversation going. Do and don'ts of compliments. Keep compliments brief and sincere. Focus on what people say or do. Avoid personal compliments and repetitiveness. Follow up with relatable questions. Chapter 26: How a Useless Kid Got to Give a TEDx Talk. The chapter discusses the challenges faced by young individuals labeled as useless by their peers and authority figures, often leading to low self esteem and feelings of powerlessness. The author, Raj, reflects on the discouragement he experienced throughout his childhood and adolescence, particularly when an opportunity to host a school event was denied by a teacher due to his perceived lack of capability. Despite these challenges, Raj recognized that many others shared similar experience. Instead of succumbing to self-pity, he chose to seek opportunities to connect with influential individuals. This led him to a business networking conference in Mumbai, where he applied as a founder of the fictitious company despite lacking an actual business at the time. At the conference, Raj faced rejection and from many attendees until he established a connection by offering value through shared interest. A discussion with a young organization president led to their pivotal realization: to receive value from others, one must first provide value to them. This revelation changed his approach to networking. Raj later found success by authentically reaching out to admired figures and offering assistance rather than asking for favors. This resulted in a diverse global network and significant opportunities, including a TEDx talk. He emphasizes the importance of intentionality in networking, focusing on authenticity and value the one can offers to others. Chapter 27: How to Become a Great Public Speaker. Public speaking can define your path as a leader or a follower, as exemplified by the author's journey from struggling to speak English to giving over 200 speeches worldwide, including at the United Nations. Journey to public speaking. The author faced ridicule during school and battled with self-worth reading presentation. A pivotal moment occurred during a college presentation where extensive preparation led to applause and a newfound love for public speaking. This success motivated the author to pursue public speaking opportunities actively. Key learnings: embrace simplicity, communicate in a way that your audience can easily understand. Important to focus on delivering your message over complex vocabulary. Prepare for fear. Acknowledge that fear of judgment is universal. Preparation can reduce apprehensive, allowing you to handle questions and objections. Framework for communication. Learn from admired speakers by mimicking their techniques, such as voice modulation and pauses, to understand delivery better. Characteristics of effective speakers. Signature appearance. Cultivate a unique style or gesture that audience associate with you. Memorable introduction. Use an elevator pitch or a introduction to immediately engage your audience. Concise messaging. Follow the less is more approach by cutting down speeches significantly for impact. Chapter 28, Vision, Mission, and the 30-second rule. This chapter emphasizes the importance of taking action even when you lack a clear vision or mission. The author introduces a 30-second rule, suggesting that any significant task or goal is just 30 seconds away from starting. Key concepts: initiating actions. The process begins with small, manageable steps. For example, doing a plank for 30 seconds every day can help increase your fitness level over time. Progress over perfection. It's okay to unsure about your goals. Focus on immediate actions rather than getting overwhelmed by the bigger picture. The 30-second rule. Overcoming initial discomfort is crucial, whether it's working on a project, reaching out to someone, or speaking at an event. Embracing 30 seconds of courage can lead to significant progress. Continuous learning. As you take these steps, your visions and goals will evolve. Focus on learning and adapting through your journey. Chapter 29, How to Create Wealth. Creating wealth involves understanding the difference between earning money and having money that works for you. True wealth allows you to sustain your lifestyle without actively working, meaning your expenses are covered regardless of your efforts. Financial freedom comes from having money that exceeds your expenses, enabling you to engage in pursuits of your choice without financial stress. To achieve wealth, it is crucial to leverage the efforts of others instead of relying solely on your daily labor to generate income. The goal is to invest a significant portion of your earnings into avenues that generate passive income, such as mutual funds or equity in the companies. These strategies ensure that even when you have no longer working, your investments continue to generate income. Consider the longevity of your financial needs. Earn income for a limited number of years but requires funds for a longer lifespan. Planning and investing wisely are essential. Effective wealth creation relies on discipline. Aim to invest 20% to 30% of your income consistently to foster growth over time. Chapter 30, The Art of Investment. Raj emphasizes the importance of investing time before money in making investment decisions. He prioritized trust in the people over technology, believing strong management teams are crucial for the success companies. Investment insights from Sandeep Das. Sandeep Das, a strategy consultant, suggests an ideal portfolio balance with a focus on quality debts and a smaller percentage in equities and gold, cautioning against unrealistic returns in the stock market. Chapter 31, How to Invest for Those Who Don't. Investing requires time and careful consideration, whether by selecting the right product or finding a knowledgeable advisor. Your investment approach largely depend on your risk tolerance and experience. There are two primary groups of non-investors: those paralyzed by decision making and those fearful of loss. Investment strategies development. Analyze your situation, understand your risk appetite, which can be classified into three categories. Low risk, ideal for beginners with no stock market knowledge, recommended to learn before investing, considering Nifty ETFs for small monthly contributions. Medium risk, suitable for those with some knowledge, invest in equity oriented mutual funds and explore promising investment products. High risk, experienced investors can choose individual stocks but should ensure portfolio diversification. Expert involvement. If you are in your early 20s and lack skills in investing, leverage apps or consult financial experts. Chapter 32, 7 Ways I Make Money. People often suggest that to build wealth, one must learn multiple skills to create various income streams. However, I believe it's more effective to specialize in one area and then develop multiple income sources from that expertise. As a 25-year-old, I currently have 7 distinct income sources, all stemming from my focus on one skill: digital marketing, consultancy, public speaking, brand deals, affiliate marketing, courses, book, business. In conclusion, I have successfully created 7 income sources by mastering digital marketing. My advice: become an expert in one area, as this opens the door to various income opportunities. Chapter 33, Creating a Personal Brand. People connect with those who are relatable or resonate with their experiences. Personal branding revolves around revealing one's true self rather than merely packaging oneness to fit a market demand. It involves sharing a personal insights, experience, and vulnerabilities to establish a deeper connection with the audience. The importance of authenticity. For effective personal branding, it's essential to be genuine. Unpacking self allows individuals to escape the pressure of conforming to expectations, letting them communicate transparently across different groups. Authenticity is the cornerstone of building a personal brand, as the biggest brands thrive by being their true selves. Building authority through value. To create a personal brand and gain authority, it's vital to add value to people's life. This can be achieved through entertainment, inspiration, or education. By sharing personal journey and insights, individuals can assist others in their quest for knowledge or self-improvement, leading to recognition as an authority in their niche. Trust and differentiation. Trust is fundamental in branding. While many others offer similar services, differentiation arises from the value provided and the genuine nature of delivery. Consistency adding value helps build trust over time, leading to recognition as a reputable authority. Chapter 34, Creativity and Growth. Nothing happens with talent. The game is only about consistency. Consistent efforts equals consistent growth. Throughout my life, I have discovered that I am not a creative, rather, I excel in discipline. My content creation process is driven by deadlines rather than inspiration. I set fixed times for creating content and force myself to produce regardless to the specifics. During the pandemic, when my usual projects were halted, I had to innovate without any definitive ideas. I started with sanitizers, recognizing the immediate needs, and chose to focus on premium products initially. Eventually, I diversified with more affordable options like disinfectant spray and toilet cleaners. I launched 5 products within 6 months. Some succeeded while others failed. Chapter 35, Growth. Achieving incremental growth. The attain 50% growth in a year. Focus on growing 1% every day rather than doubling your efforts in a single day. Starting early elevates financial worries and provides peace of mind. Although challenges vary in effort, establishing a business allows for enjoyment once the tough phase is over. Stepping out of comfort zones. Many people resist change due to comfort. Taking a lap from one's comfort zone may be significant but result in fulfilling life. The author reflects on living a pampered life, sheltered from responsibilities, until moving to Mumbai in 2021 forced him to manage daily tasks. Embracing responsibilities prevents stagnation and teaches valuable lessons. Overcoming inferiority and jealousy. Previously, the author struggled with a feeling of inferiority, which hindered his willingness to share others' content. His father advised him to build confidence instead of material solutions. Now he actively shares and draws inspirations from others, understanding that competition is healthy. The recognition that better creators exist fuels his content quality, merging inspiration with personal growth. The power of promotion and generosity. An effective strategy for growth is to promote those who you feel jealous of. This effort uplifts your spirit and helps support others on their journey. Adopting a mindset of giving rather than receiving transforms relationship and fosters a community of mutual support. Chapter 36, Why I Am Unbeatable. In this chapter, Rashomani emphasizes the importance of constant adaptations and innovations in content creation to maintain audience engagement. He discusses the concept of product market fit, explaining that it occurs when a product meets the demand in the market, leading to success. He provides examples such as how Instagram capitalized on TikTok's ban by launching Instagram Reels. Rashomani shares his personal journey of discovering his PMF through experimentation with different content types. He reflects on the necessity for creators to continuously reinvent themselves to retain their audience and illustrate how he established a system for producing content efficiently. Despite facing competition, he believes that scaling or pivoting are essential strategies for staying ahead. He introduces the idea of building a moat to protect one's unique value propositions, arguing that his ability to simplify complex topics has become his competitive advantage. Furthermore, Raj outlines the importance of having a consistent brand identity, including audio branding, which enhances audio recall. Chapter 37, Stand Out from the Competition. When you dedicate yourself to something you are passionate about, money becomes a byproduct that eventually comes. Instead of viewing competition as a barrier to your success, consider it an opportunity to better define your unique position in the market. This chapter introduces the concept of circles of life, which helps to clarify your roles and reduce competition. Figure out your interest, figure out your strength, be more specific. Chapter 38, short term or long term. If you want to make money, focus on trending things today, but to become wealthy, invest in what will trend a decade from now. Instant gratification versus right intent. Today's generation often seeks instant gratification. The intent behind your action is crucial. If you are motivated by comparison or external validation, your intention may be misguided. True fulfillment comes from pursuing goals for oneness rather than others. Personal experience of transition. The author shares their journey from running an FMCG business, an established form of income, to content creation, which they viewed as long-term investment. They realized that building a personal brand would enhance future opportunities and support long-term community building efforts. Building a supportive community. Call to action. The chapter emphasizes the importance of taking actions towards achieving both short term and long term goals without letting fear or self doubt hold you back. Chapter 39, Things I Wish I Was Taught in School. 10 things about finance: assets allocation, life insurance, health insurance, investing in gold, understanding money, education loans, psychology of money, tax saving strategies, credit card understanding, investing in stocks versus debt. 9 things about growth and marketing: generating traffic, power of content creation, understanding and analyzing numbers, networking skills, copywriting, collaboration, psychology of behavior, brand building, basics of economics. 8 things about social media and beyond: value of education degree, stronger networks, health and wellness, sleep importance, consistency, compounding, and creativity for success, video skills, delegations, focus on growth beyond social media. 7 steps to becoming a millionaire: know your money, set goals, salary and income allocations, know your risk appetite, investment strategy, insurance, diversification. Additional insights: teach financial literacy, the importance of savings, investments, and taxation to promote responsible money management from a young age. Thank you all.